All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have Toño Foraster from AV62 Architects from Barcelona. He's the co-founder and principal, and a lot of his works is mainly consisting of the development of cultural, museum, and educational projects, and along with territorial planning and urban revitalization. It will be about the protection space and that architecture is capable of giving, as the guest claimed himself. So yes, please, now you can go on. Thank you so much for joining us and accepting our invitation.
No, thank you, Irina, and thank you, Coventry University. As you told, I'm Toño Foraster, principal of AV62 Architects. We have a professional experience of about 20 years. We have done many different typologies of projects. I don't really like to tell that I'm specialized in any or another topic. I believe architecture has to transcend the prosaic, and architecture has to protect and at the same time help provide the users with the best tools to deal with reality. In this sense, I would like to explain you two projects that are situated in very different contexts. One is Afghanistan and the other one is in the north of Spain, in Derio, a municipality near Bilbao, but that both have a common feature, a common characteristic. The two of them are sustaining fragility. And I'm going to try to explain how architecture can serve as a protective element, but at the same time as a capacitor element. In these two projects, the explanation is going to be guided by two characters. Let's see, is going to be guided by two characters. We have the kite girl and the bird boy. These, let's say, two allegorical protagonists are going to be the ones that are going to tell us the story of the two projects. I have to tell you that one of these stories has a good ending and the other does not. Let's hope that with time, it also ends in a happy ending. So these characters are Ursula. She is the daughter of one of the Afghan engineers that help us with the project of the National Museum. He's 7 years old, and Andoni. Andoni is a teenager with an Asperger syndrome. He's inside, let's say, the autistic spectrum, and he loves drawing birds and watching birds. That, let's say, one of the main things he's doing during the whole day. And he's an expert. He's a great expert in birds. So in this sense, I have the opportunity to meet Ursula 3 years ago, and she was always telling me about how she liked to go to the park. Well, the park in Afghanistan is complicated, to go to a park, to the outside and play with a kite. And I didn't have the opportunity to meet Andoni since like 2 months ago. That is when the building was being finished. We had all the courses in the building, and I had the opportunity to visit with him and see how he was drawing, how he experimented the building, and the positive sensation for me, how he developed his skills in this building, and how this facilitate his grownness and let's say the transition to work someplace in the future, hopefully quite in 2 years or something like that. In this sense, first I will explain the project of Abnavi Care Center, Daycare Center. This center is a center that is going to be specialized in teaching agriculture and gardening for the boys and girls that are going to be in this center. So in that sense, we are in the north of Spain. We are here near Bilbao, so in the Cantabric. We are very near the airport of Bilbao, like 5 kilometers from the airport. We are in a context that is quite green, let's say. It's like South UK, a little bit better weather, let's say, but quite the same. The plot was given by the municipality of Territorial, so it's like a donation for the let's say the institution that is doing the project. This institution is done by the parents of boys and girls with the autistic spectrum, and then it has public funding also, part of it, and some private funding that comes from some bank, and other organizations that help them in the development of the development. So in that sense, we have the plot. We have already some let's say small forest that is making frontier with the highway that is here, and then you have, let's say, all the area prepared for the orchards, and all the greenhouses. Then the proper building is also like a big greenhouse where you have 2 different areas. Let's say the area that is more protected, that is where all the workshops, kitchen, the dining room, places where they develop, let's say, in interior aspects. And then you have like a big covered plaza that is the one that is in the entrance. So this has some images of the different options of the scenes that can occur in this space. In that sense, here we see the two, let's say, we have the greenhouse, and then you have these workshops, these box pyramids. They are made out of wood, that they are the different areas, no? And then, well, the outside greenhouse and the orchards. In that sense, the type of construction is a dry construction. We try to be quite consistent in this type of argument. We are in a place that we don't know if this building is going to be changed afterwards of category or whatever, or maybe it has to be undone and then you have to leave the country how it was. So in that sense, we work all the construction process and the post-construction in let's say in trying to be the more respectful in an ambiental point of view. So here you have like the ground floor, and you can see this plaza space. This is the main entrance. You enter through here, and then you have all the boxes where you have the different workshops, space just to watch TV or to watch whatever programs, kitchen, watercloths, well, the dining area, and some open space here to make different events that they want to do. And then the plaza, that it serves like a greenhouse where they can plant different seeds, see all the process of growing of all the vegetables and everything. You have a small office here. That's the office of the, let's say, of the director of the center, and some changing rooms also in the outside. So we have like this metallic galvanized structure. That is the one that is the, let's say, the proper greenhouse. And then you have these wooden boxes made out of CLT, and that are the ones that are, let's say, with more interior character. In that sense, you can see here different construction details where different elements. What is important about this building is that in this sense, there's been a lot of we have tried to be as much as possible sustainable, let's say, but not only looking the energetic side, but also looking the social side and the economical side. Because, well, energy, we all know we have to be and try that all the buildings consume the less. And it's obvious, let's say. Then it's very important the social sustainability. Why this building can be sustainable in the social aspect. The idea is that in this plaza, the municipality has the option, the people, the citizens that live near here have the option to go to a market that the girls and boys from the center would organize, so the people can understand let's say, and see the people with autistic spectrum. So in that sense, educational also, in the sense that many people don't know about this spectrum. So it's try to let's know the citizenship about this let's say spectrum, so they can understand better, be more respectful, be more well, attend with more care, everything more careful, and that's the idea in one of the sense. And also, of course, the economical sustainability. There was not much money to make this building, so it was, I think, that has to be with very small money, and trying to just for the quickness of the construction, the type of materiality we use, and everything, be very, well, let's say in that sense, be very, very afterwards, here you have some calculation. I'm not going to stand, but we have the better energetic certification you can have in Spain, and we have decreased in more than 10 times a normal building. You have this, let's say, this glass house, this greenhouse, serve as an external skin that can work different between winter and summer. So it, depending if it's winter or summer, let's say the heat will be maintained in winter and take profit for the space that needed to be heated. And in winter, the idea is to open all the mechanisms that can open the greenhouse. So we have all these, let's say, wind movements, and the warm air is going to go out. Also, the ventilators are very helpful in this sense. While during summer, the heat will go up. During the winter, the heat will go. They change the turn clockwise and unclockwise. Here I can show you some pictures about the building. We also use used containers that were very well. The budget was quite good to get. So here we have, let's say, the outside changing rooms when they go to the orchard and work in the land and in the mud. Well, then they can sit here, and then they enter to the building. No? This is the entrance, and here you can see all the workshops, the wooden volumes. There's like a thermic, can you say thermic? I have here screen that, depending of the warmth that we have in the top on the roof, it's closed and it opens in relation with the warmth that you want to have in the interior. No, so in summer will be mainly closed mainly the whole time. When it goes more than 24 degrees, it opens a little bit. It goes more than 27, it opens more, and it works this type of mechanisms that help to get the heat out or get the heat inside. Other pictures, this has been opened like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, so there's no many things in the building by the moment. They are starting, so everything is quite new. More pictures here. Some of the interior spaces. More of the interior spaces. These are some of the facade mechanisms that in summer will be completely open. So you have all the let's say the cross wind effect that takes the heat out of the greenhouse. This is the back side, where there is the dining room. So there will be here also the opportunity to have the meals and everything on the outside. And in that sense, my experience with Andoni, I think it was quite special in the sense that I saw him moving in the space. So he was drawing in one of these wooden boxes. I think he felt himself like protected, let's say, and he was like drawing, and he also have like a small camera watching some of the birds that they are in the near forest. And at the same time, once he went out at the space, he started like doing like a bird dance. He started like moving, like opening his arms and running and doing different like movements in this space, but feeling like free, let's say, protected by free, but free. So this is a little bit the synthesizing the idea of the building, no? To try to make the people with, of course, there are many cases, there are many different cases. In this case, the people that are here, they are capable of working, and they are capable of participating and collaborating. You have the opportunity to talk. So in that sense, of course, there are other cases that are much more difficult. But here, this idea of making a protective space, but at the same time, to try to capacitize all the people to go to the, let's say, to the job market in the better way, in the sense they can Andoni, he could probably work for a like a bird watcher in a park. He can work in a farm. He can work in many places, and this is the idea, no? of all these people that are going to be trained in the agricultural and gardening systems, so they can be introduced in the working and labor system. So now, afterwards, you can make me some questions about this project. Now I'm going to explain the National Museum of Afghanistan. Another different context. This project comes back from 2012, when we won an international competition. There were like, I don't remember it well, but I think it was like 90 teams competing and 70 different countries. It was a very international competition. The promoters of the competition were the State Department of the United States and the Ministry of Culture of Afghanistan. So in that sense, there were different talks in the Obama period. First was Hillary Clinton as director of the State Department, that he has her first conversation with Karzai, the president that was before Ghani, and then Obama also with Ghani. They established like a collaboration, let's say, to develop the National Museum. In that sense, for that competition, it was very important to have experience in museography. We had different museums and also in exhibitions, so we have experience. Also experience in Muslim countries. We also have that experience. We have worked in Iraq, in Kurdistan, Mahajala, Algeria. So we have this experience, and also in conflict countries. Afghanistan, 2012, and when I've been there, it has always been in conflict. Right now is let's say the biggest conflict in years, like since the last war. But during the peace process, it was also conflict. There was all the time terrorist attacks. It was when you were there, it was very difficult to move like a normal citizen. You have to go protected. Many problems to move like with freedom. In that sense, these are some of the examples of the different museums of AV62. So the Maritime Museum in Barcelona, Can Oliver, it's an archaeological Iberian site near here, Barcelona also, Cristobal Valenciaga. Some of the exhibitions that we've done, we have done a lot of them related to art, to archaeology, to fashion, many things. And these are some of the experience we had in Iraq. We won also a competition for the urban rehabilitation project, revitalization project of Adimilla district. Also, we were in the Kadimilla project, that is the shrine of Kadimilla, and we plan all the pilgrim movements for the Kadimilla shrine. Other in Sawa Lake, different projects we made in Iraq. This Mahachkala, we were selected to do also a urban plan for the city of Mahachkala-Kempinski. We were going to start and to sign the contract, but the Crimea War came, the first Crimea War, and this was organized by the government of Mahachkala, by the depend of Russia. So Russia, let's say, broke all contracts with European countries. So we didn't have the work. It was a very interesting project, and they have a very good, let's say, basis for the plan. But we were not able to continue because of the war. Well, this is some of the problems that you get when you are in international contexts. And hopefully, you never know. Probably things will change and better. This is once you are as an outsider entering to Afghanistan. Let's say you have a perception of the country that comes the mass media. Maybe you have read something, some films, whatever, but it's quite a, let's say, fragmental type of perspective. So I think it's very important when you are in a country that is not yours. Even in your same country, you have lots of difference between the different territory areas. So it's very important to try to understand where you are. And in that sense, there's many prejudices, and you try to have to take all these things out and to have like a clear head to try to see what you can pick and what you can try to help you to try to propose a project. No, in that sense, the National Museum is right near the parliament. The parliament was one of the buildings in Kabul that was destroyed during the First War, so against Taliban, and it was everything around was really destroyed, and then you have the different characters that were related to these wars, and well, and all the information came from the mass media. In that sense, well, Kabul, this is the country of Afghanistan. Kabul is more or less, let's say, in the mid part to the east. So you have, this is Pakistan, and it's near the area of the, let's say, then you have Iran, Turkmenistan, and all the other countries that they are around. China, you have this small place, this in the frontier of China. So it's let's say that Afghanistan is located in a very geopolitical spot. You have all the crosses between many, let's say, power type of movements in the area. In that sense, it has one of the richest cultures in the world. It's been a country that has collected many religions, many cultures. Let's say the generals of Alexander the Great stay in Afghanistan. All the Mughals came from India, where the Islamic power in India also came to Afghanistan. They have beautiful buildings, beautiful gardens. They were a very rich culture. And in that sense, you try to start like picking different elements that can support, let's say, an idea for architecture that is very important. Then you also have, in this sense, there's a contradiction. Afghanistan during the Soviet period, you can see how the women were going. So it's been, you say, communism, liberty, or freedom, something that doesn't match together much. But here, the women in that time, they had the opportunity to go to university, and to be as free in the East. So there's many things, many fractions that arrives to you. You don't really, you have to try to sensible to all the things and the bad things that they are around. And one thing that is also very important in Afghanistan is all this culture for all the woodcrafts, that they are impressive. They are the management of wood, of timber, of ceramic, tiling. It's impressive. They are very good in all these art crafts. And of course, all the tradition of the Islamic architecture that you can that is very insert in all the Afghan monuments, and very important to know about it. We as Spaniards, we have all the Muslim culture that we had in the south of Spain. So we have very good examples of Islamic architecture, and in that sense, what this, I think, it serves also for a better understanding of what means what the essence of Islamic architecture. Here there were some contemporary, well, not contemporary, modern references, like maybe Lakatani Basal in Café Una in Vienna, then Hassan Fatih in Egypt, like David Chipperfield in the Nubes Museum. Some of the elements that afterwards you will understand what I put in these examples. Kimball Museum of Louis Kahn. Also, as an office that have been related to culture and art, I like trying to understand things also through the view of the artist. They have a very critic and clinical eye for many things, much more than architects. And it's sometimes I like to use this reference in order to understand better many things that probably you don't get to understand if they don't have it. For example, there's a video from Francis Alice, Real and Real, that is beautiful, and it's a beautiful video that you can see it in YouTube. Also, Mario García Torres, it's a beautiful also video that talks about Alighiero Boetti, because in the 70s many artists came to Afghanistan. And then, of course, all the poetical tradition of the Afghans that is incredible, and there's beautiful poems that can also be read, and you can look in internet, but also in books that you can buy, that they're beautiful, of Haluddin Rami or Raham Baba and Caligula Khalili. So that I recommend. Want to enter to a little bit to know better Afghanistan. Of course, Afghanistan was in the Silk Road, so that's why all this richness in cultural and civilizations, that is incredible. And of course, let's say that here, one of the most important parts in order to prepare the project of the museum was to try to connect, to know some about the collection of the National Museum. It was difficult to find everything. It was the Chicago Oriental Institute, the one that has all the, let's say, all the catalogation of all the different objects and pieces. There were thousands of them. I think it was like 35,000. So trying to make a selection, and it was not easy. And in that sense, the beauty of the different objects is marvelous, and you can see in them this combination of religion, civilization, cultures. You can see all the, let's say, all the strats of the layers of all these civilizations. So, well, the museum this is the airport of Kabul, right here, and the museum is in this area I told you, that it was near the parliament. Also, the American University is here, so that's some universities near. It's a little bit out of the center of the town. Kabul is a city that it's let's say surrounded by mountains, quite big mountains. In winter, you have all this sensation of snow, so you have at least mountains of 3,000 meters. Then you can go up to nearly 5,000 in the interior of the country. But the sensation of the power of the mountain is very important. And then you have like a plain where you have all the different houses, and you have houses all over the place. No, the mountains are also full of houses. So in that sense, the context is quite different to the ones you are used to. This is the plot of the National Museum, and here you have the parliament. This is some photographs of the original National Museum. The original National Museum was a British building of the 19th century. It was used like for officials, but then it was converted to a museum. And when I was there, all the security problems were existing already. It was not that now with the war, the security problems, it was really a big deal, the security. All the plot of the museum is covered by a concrete wall with different guardians all over the place. So it's well, it was the issue of the security was very important. In that sense, we have a great plot. It's like the parking lot. Some of the gardens that we also plant for this is the old building. this goes here, and then we make some new buildings that we were asked, but because of the Ministry of Urban Development and Territorial asked us to put some more buildings in the gardens, and then the new museum. That is all this volume that we have here. So you enter through here, you go to this, let's say, garden avenue, and you arrive to the central entrance and principal courtyard and to the lobby of the museum. Then you can go to the museum, or you have also the, let's say, the official part. There's always going to be part of the Ministry of Culture here in the building, and the situation of this part is. Afterwards, I will enter in the building in more detail. So, well, you have a basement that it was very, let's say, prepared for all the collection. It's a huge collection, so there's many different type of spaces to keep the different objects, kind of the materiality. There was a secure place also in case of attack. There were some workshops for rehabilitation some of the objects. It was a very complex, let's say, program. Here is where you have the entrance I was talking before. So you enter, this is the security part. You enter to the courtyard. At your left side, you have the coffee and tea room, and then the conference hall. Then you have the big lobby where you have a shop, and you have some of the pre-elements before the exhibitions where you can prepare your visit to the museum. And then this is the, let's say, the part of the officials where you have all the different departments, like historic department, political department, press department, whatever. They were here. There were a lot of them. There were like 150 people working here. And the museum. So you have all the galleries that I will enter afterwards to explain you all the galleries. Of course, there were like these security issues also, like security towers, whatever. This is the mezzanine. Is working, or let's say all this part related to the officials. You have like a courtyard that is full of greenery, and they have the light, natural ventilation, also in the facade. Then you have the library here also in relation with the lobby that is in a mezzanine, and some of the galleries have top floors that will also be visited. But there was not in the gallery, in the museum part. There's not many mezzanines. The spaces are quite high. So you have here some longitudinal sections. The idea of the project, I go back to the ground floor, is, let's say, you have like a orthogonal grid that tries to extend like to infinite, and that then is like a very Muslim architectural concept, the infinity, and this structure gives you the sensation of infinity, and at the same time, for our project, it also helps you to define different volumes inside the big volume, no? And in this sense, we have all the balls that they are in this longitudinal axis. So you have these balls that go through the whole space. We will see it now in this section. Now you have all these balls. All these balls, they have the different skylets that they will enter the light in a, say, zenithal way and controlled, because also for a museum it's very important the natural light control. This is a cross section through the official space where you have all the greenery and everything. This is the ground floor. Well, some facades taking profit of the knowledge of all the arts and crafts knowledge about timber. I don't know the name in English now. Timber. Well, for the carpentries, lattice. timber lattice. This is the entrance wall for the museum, where is made out of brass, the brick construction. All the construction systems try to use materials that could be done in Afghanistan. They have they have different let's say factories, small factories that they make bricks. Brick is a good element to be used in Kabul. Also trying to not to make a very complex building. The idea is not non-iconic building. Trying to make a building into, you have to be very conscious of where you are working, and the building could have to suit the necessities, the necessities and the possibilities you have in each space, no, and take profit of what you have there. So you make the project with more strength and more conscience of where we are. We also planned all the time on the landscape. This was an idea that probably came from one of a very good example we have here in Spain, is the Mosque of Cordoba. So there's like a big canopy in the entrance. It's like the previous space before entering to the building, but with a character of protected. Also, you are under all these trees. You get the shadow. You get the sensation of wall protection. So you're in the gardens, like having a good, peaceful time, and birds, movement of the trees is like an oasis inside of the city of Kabul. Kabul is very dense, has a lot of noise. You have this sensation of security that is always quite fragile, and well, this possibility to give the citizens to come to the museum as a space of peace, of calm, is also was very important. Here, for example, there are some examples of the different areas we have developed. This is the library. It's called library. It's also family space. Family space is a space that also women could come and stay there in a normal way. Afghanistan, before the Taliban, there were some problems, not much problems, women say, but of course it's a careful issue that is quite also fragile. We try to give them the opportunity to everyone to come to the museum and try to have the knowledge of the tremendous and richful past Afghanistan has, that comes from many centuries, and this option of knowing that you come from a great territory, a great country, and that you have to know this when you are inserted in a problematic, the day by day, that many problematics are around. I think it's very important to don't lose this relation with what you are and where you come from. Always after it will give you the tools to move on life. No, it's this is the coffee and the tea room. They have a very ritual type of tea ceremony in Afghanistan. Very nice. It's there was like in the this is more type of European, let's call it, the coffee area, and then upstairs you have like the tea room, like it's a place where you can sit, like they are sitting, they have the tea, and it's another type of experience of having something. Some details of the coffee area and the tea room, the conference hall. And then something that we give a lot of importance is the galleries. In that sense, we didn't have the whole collection, so we made like 3 examples, the 3 more important examples. that is the Greco-Bactrian, the Kutan, and the Ghaznavid culture. These three civilizations that were the ones that we have worked the most, and we have give examples of how the galleries could be made. No, in that sense, here you have the whole, let's say, gallery disposition. I'm not going to enter in everything; it's huge, and you have a lot of different civilizations and cultures. I will explain just these three. The thing is the concept of the how we plan the museography of the space. No, you have this entrance that you enter from the lobby. You have gallery 1 and gallery 2 that they are more related to the introduction to geology and the metal, and also the geography and the metal period and the appearance of civilization, and then you start entering with the big civilization, no? Like the Greek Bactrian civilization, and you have like this core in the center, this central core, and then you have this gallery that turns around in a clockwise direction, and you start like entering in the different galleries. So in that sense, you have this opportunity to enter to a gallery, you get to see the collection, the objects, and everything. Then you go out to a space where you can free your mind a little bit and take a walk, and then you enter again. And this is a little bit the idea, no? Like to go like inside, outside. Also in this area, you have all the relation with the garden of the collection, because there's some collection here, so you can also go inside and have this opportunity to go down, and also in the lobby, you have this opportunity to make your visit. You can choose what type of visit you want to make. You say, okay, I want to make a 3-hour visit, so I want to visit all the galleries, or I just want to visit 3 of the galleries or 4 of the galleries to have an idea, and then I can go back. You have a visit for children, a visit for, let's say, not experts, and a visit for experts. So it's a little bit the different type of approach you can make to collection. No? The collection is beautiful, incredible, and well, I think it's very important that, and I hope finally they will have the National Museum, so they can protect all this incredible collection. Axonometry of this part of the exhibition is like some graphic examples of the idea of this perimetral gallery, and then you enter to each of the different galleries. The galleries, they have the whole height of the vault. Then this grid I have told you is like 7 times 7 meters, and the height is 9 meters of the vaults. So the disposition of the different collections can be changed in many ways, and the character of the materiality of each of the galleries could be changed in relation with the objects you are exhibiting. So that's very important also, to have to try to make different ambiences, atmospheres to the different galleries. In this sense, the gallery could have the whole height. It could also have like a mezzanine in the middle. It could be you could have the nude brick is showing, and you only have time of a plinth, that is the one where you have all the objects, or it can be another material. Change the materiality, like for example, if you're exhibiting Buddhas, maybe you want to make something more textile, something more colorful, like using orange or whatever. So these are the different possibilities, different lighting facilities also, because the lighting is very important in exhibition. These are all the showcases that they are also in relation with the grid I was talking, where you have all these showcases that they are between the structural elements, more structural elements related to the galleries, different example of galleries. Well, before, this could be also like a brass collection for the Greco-Bactrian, trying to emulate to gold or whatever. Then here is the cushion exhibition. This is the one related to Buddhism. Well, it was different. You can make different atmospheres. This was the idea, no? To generate this essential of you are in a grid, but at the same time, this grid gives you the possibility to try to enter to spaces that they are different, and they show you different opportunities of learning. This is the Gasnavit gallery. So you have all the Gasnavit objects and elements here, like a ceiling, some of the wall elements that are very important in the Gasnavit collection. These are some 3Ds of the project. Like this is the axe I was telling you with the water channel that goes up to the front door. This is the main entrance of the inner courtyard. This is the lobby, the space of the lobby, the space of the inner courtyard of the officials area. This is the canopy of the entrance. Some of the different gardens. The back. This is the access courtyard to the officials space, and the back courtyard where you have all the gardens related to the town collection. Again, the lobby, library, family space, a conference hall, coffee. Well, I think this is a little bit the explanation I wanted to give. And trying to be, let's say, positive and trying to explain that architecture is something very important for the, not only, let's say, in a construction way of selling architecture, but architecture can help a lot in many contexts and in many type of problematics you can find, no? And in that sense, trying to think in the people that are going to inhabit in these spaces, I think is the more important thing to do, and trying to be comprehensible and trying to be polite, trying to be non-prejudicial, many things that you have to try to work with it, because finally, architect is done for the use of the person that are going to live inside it. So in that sense, I think as students is one of the more important things you have to take care about. I just finished with these small symbols, no, like the kite going out of the museum. I hope Usala could probably in the following years change political things, could change, and they can go again and fly a kite. Now they are in a very problematic situation, trying to go out of Afghanistan because they cannot study there, the girls, and trying move forward and hoping that good times come to Afghanistan. In the positive way, I think the day center is working very well. I have this sensation that the teenagers that they are there, they have a good experience in this space, and that they are learning, they are going forward, and they will have, let's say, they could incorporate to a labor work day by day, and pay them to have a better life, and that's a little bit the whole thing about the explanation. Hope I've been, I think it's an hour now, so quite. If there's any questions or whatever, I'm open to listen. And thank you all. I hope it has been an event that has been interesting in some way.
Thank you so much. It's been very nice indeed, and a lot of new things to learn, to be fair. So yeah, we got actually some questions.
Okay.
The first one is if there is any inspiration from Kimball Art Museum of Louis Kahn regarding the museum, National Museum of Afghanistan.
Yeah, I've shown it in the references, in the modern references. I think you never know when you are working, but also Cannes is not the Kimber Museum. You have old buildings like old mosques or even Roman buildings that they have all this type of structural type of bolts and system. So really, Cannes was not the inventor of the bolt so it's like you have many references that finally you try to make your own reference, and it's like coincidences that happen in the process of architecture.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And another one, it's from Mohammed, who says that lovely care of sensibility for the project. Afghanistan definitely has a rich cultural heritage, and in the same sense, so does the project. What was the most difficult aspect of the project?
In Afghanistan, well, there's a bad end in all the sense. We have a contract with the Afghan government, and we were supposed to deliver the project, the final project, in June 2021. We delivered it in June 2021, and the Taliban came in July. So there was a big problem because we didn't get paid in the sense of let's say economic aspect.
That's almost 20 years ago.
No. 2021.
2020.
Last year.
Sorry.
Last year.
That's last year.
2021. Last year, in June 2021. So this was one of the big problems was this. After all this work, well, this is a big problem. Let's say it's an economical problem. It's more important than a human problem, but well, this is one of the problems for us. That's the main one of the problems.
Wow. All right. Are there any more questions? If there are no, then, well, I guess thank you so much.
Thank you, Irina.
But there is one more. Sorry about that.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, actually, I want to ask Muhammad if he would like to ask it himself.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Muhammad. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Fine.
So I'm just gonna just read this question. Afghanistan's history is always evolving. How well did you try to anticipate the future entangled narratives of the site and its interaction to its surrounding?
Yeah, well, it's very difficult to anticipate. I think when you go to a difficult context, it's very difficult. Afghanistan, even though before the Taliban, the very fragile political system. It was very depending on the outside, let's say, economic powers. So they were depending in many aspects of the international community. So this fragility always makes this possibility of what has happened the last year. No? So really, you cannot anticipate. If I will have anticipated, I will have not done the project. That's the because if you want to be just, I will have not risked, let's say, all of what I have risked. I have risked many things. I have risked not only economically, but I have risked. I have made very good friends there. Now they're in a bad situation. It's a pity. All my experience there is that great people, very friendly, very I don't know how to say the word in English, hospitality. So I cannot anticipate. It's very complicated to anticipate. it also happens here in our contest, because you have the politics that they can move you very quickly. If they don't, you are working in a project that you in that time there's a political party governing in the government, and suddenly, if there's a change of political party, then they say, oh no, now this is not interesting for us. We want another type of project and whatever, and then you are out of the project. So not even in, let's say, in Europe, you are secure about anything. So you have to deal with this all the time. As architects, we depend on what the type of architecture you're doing. If you are working, for example, with the public system, you're always open to have this type of problematics. So, well, I hope I have answered the question, Mohammed.
Oh yes, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, I got one more question, if it's okay.
Okay.
I wanted to ask also about this project, but how the communication looked like? Was it efficient with the government, or have you collaborated maybe with any other practice over there to know the regulations, for example?
No, the communication was very complicated in the sense, at the beginning it was easy, but then there was too many officials working in the project. And there were a lot of changes also all the time. Finally, we depend directly from the presidential office. So there was a change of one technical to another technical, another one director, another director, whatever. So it was all the time explaining the whole thing again, and it was very complicated. The communication was tremendously complicated. I went there a few times, like 5 times, trying to explain everything and trying to, but complicated because we were working with the Afghan government. It was not easy at all, not easy. But we didn't, how do you say, we didn't defeat, we would continue all the time. All the time we were trying to, and of course there were some 2 engineers in Kabul, Afghan engineers that were helping me with all of this. They finished tired about everything because they were all the time giving against the wall. It was all the time like not easy at all. That the same could happen you here, in UK, Spain, France, whatever. It can happen you have an official in the other side that is it's like a wall.
But at the end, you end up really nicely, no matter what, no matter the political influences that they were put on you.
Yeah, that's, this, let's say, we're a little bit stupid sometimes, architects. We try to, let's say, to make things the better we can, but sometimes the world doesn't work like that. So
it doesn't fall. Yeah.
Eh?
The wall doesn't fall, yeah.
No, the wall doesn't fall you.
Probably that part is the most disappointing one.
Yeah. So, because you make a lot of big effort, you try to explain everything very well. You're all the time trying to do things well. You are not looking just for economic issues. You are trying to do the best job as possible. That's the idea. But sometimes you don't have the, how do you say, the other part telling you the same thing.
Yeah, you're having some expectancies for the public to respond the same way, but they're not quite doing it. So probably
not at all.
That's quite sad, to be fair. That's sad indeed. So yeah, Alex as well says that the second project it's an amazing project, and you get inspired beautifully by the Khan's architecture, and not only.
All right. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was really nice.
Thank you.